Okay, Mia, I'm Stephanie. I'll be your counselor today. I'm still in training. I do have a supervisor, but before we start, I just wanted to go over a few things with you, if that's okay. Just about confidentiality. I am legally obligated to keep everything that is said in this room, in the sessions, confidential, meaning I cannot tell anyone what was said. But there are a few exceptions with regards to harming someone else, harming yourself, harming children, elderly, people that are disabled. If you mention suicidality, um, just be aware of that while you're in the session that I am obligated to report those things. Do you understand those?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so why are we here today?
So I just started graduate school a few weeks ago now, and that has been a huge adjustment for me. I actually graduated undergrad in 2015, so I had like a year off.
Okay.
So kind of getting back into the groove of schoolwork has been a challenge, and it's also a totally different school. I'm in a new town. I also moved from New Jersey to Rhode Island, so that's something else that is a major adjustment. And
Big jump.
yeah, so I've been feeling kind of just overwhelmed and doubting myself too, and with my abilities with graduate school. So that's kind of.
All right, so let's take one thing at a time. The first thing that you mentioned to me was the big adjustment from taking a year off.
Mm-hmm.
How does that play in with you feeling overwhelmed? How does the year off influence how you're dealing with feeling like you're not able to keep up?
So taking the time off was not intentional. I was trying to go to graduate school, but didn't work out. So pretty much, I just kind of feel like being away from school for a year kind of puts me at a disadvantage because I've already had a year of not going over the things that I went over in undergrad. And I feel like everybody in my program kind of came right from undergrad and right to graduate school. I feel like they kind of remember everything, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember how to do this or that, and especially with like our research methods class, like I don't remember how to do a lot of that. So I just feel very like defeated in a way, like, oh, I don't know this and I should know this.
Have you conversed with some of the other students in your classes?
Yeah, I have.
Are they feeling that same feeling of defeated?
Yeah, I know a few other girls kind of feel like overwhelmed as well and similar to what I'm feeling. So in that respect, like it does make me feel like, okay, like I'm not the only one. It's helpful to know that other people are feeling the same way.
And I think it's really good that you recognize the fact that you are not the only one going through these situations, and you are not the only one feeling defeated, and that um, it's important that you recognize how far you've come. Just the fact that you were able to come back into grad school and have the motivation to come back into grad school after the year off is huge. And I think you should recognize that.
Yeah, I think that's something that I don't really recognize. Like I kind of ignore that. Yeah, like it took a lot to get into graduate school, and I know that I need to think more positively and think like, okay, like what you said, like this is a big accomplishment and like I should be happy, but it's like at the same time I just always go back to that negative thought of like, oh well, I don't know what I'm doing here type of thing.
And the not knowing what you're doing here ties back to the feeling of being overwhelmed. So let's talk about the feeling of overwhelmment. What about this graduate program makes you feel overwhelmed?
There's a lot of work, more than I was anticipating. Like I knew that I was going to be doing a lot more than I did in undergrad, but at the same time, I did not know that I was really going to be reading every single day with barely any breaks in between. So that is pretty draining. Like I feel like I don't have any time for myself, which is like really hard because I I don't really have much time to, relax at all. So that can be really tough.
Okay, and what are you doing to take steps towards accomplishing these goals? Like, what are you doing to set aside? Are you setting aside time for yourself once you're done with work?
I try, but it seems like the only time I'm really setting aside for myself is like going to sleep. So other than that, like there have been times where I have been able to get together with friends, but for the most part, it's really just like when bedtime comes around, I'm like, okay, I can finally go to sleep. Don't have to worry about this. But then the next morning, wake up, starts all over again.
And how do you feel about spending time for yourself that doesn't involve friends? What do you do for yourself that you enjoy for yourself?
So I like to listen to music. That's something that's kind of calming and makes me feel kind of like separated from what's actually going on in my life. And then I do like nature, so going for walks is helpful. I've done that a couple times, but definitely not as much as I should. And just getting together with my friends would be nice, but again, that's hard. So yeah, I feel like the only things I really do is like I do like taking walks, so that's something that I know would probably be beneficial for me.
And not only is taking walks great for your own enjoyment, but when you get those feelings of overwhelmment, when you feel like you've been reading all day, do you ever take that time to step away and do the thing that you enjoy to come back to the work later?
Not really. I kind of have like my moments of panic where I'm just like so overwhelmed and I don't really know what to do, and I just look at the work and I just am like, I don't know where to start and I don't know where to end. Like, what do I start first? Do I do this first? So it's just like there's so much at once that it's so hard for me to really like remove myself from that situation, because I feel like if I do, then I'm just like taking away more time from actually doing my work.
Now the question becomes, how's the quality of work when you're in these panic states? Do you feel like you get good work done when you're under that kind of pressure for yourself?
I know when I am feeling that way, it's harder for me to concentrate on what I'm reading. So I'll be reading a chapter, but then I just start having these intense feelings of like, oh my god, I still have so much more left, and then I have to do this after that, and then it's kind of just like time, decreases because I'm like, oh, I'm panicking about it. So concentration is less, and also like the time.
Okay. So here's what my thinking is, that you can maybe take the time to step away from the stressor, the reading, whatever it is, the project, the paper that is causing you this panic. To take time for yourself, go for that walk, listen to that music, whatever it is that you need to do to calm yourself down and that you feel good doing can also help with restructuring your mind frame to sit back down and be calm and ready to re-attack this reading and all this work. Because like you said, when you're in that kind of panic mode, nothing really is sticking with you and nothing is really being solid in the mind frame that you want it to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think for next week, maybe I want you to come in next week with a list of things that you did during the week that helped you readjust to the reading, and what you did to take time for yourself, because I think that seems to be a big issue.
Okay. All right. I will do that then.
Awesome. Any more questions? All right.
Thank you.